Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. The firebrand MP of Trinamool Congress, Mahua Moitra, made a statement while talking to Telegraph, while giving an interview to a newspaper. She said that the affidavit given by the market regulator Sebi regarding Adani to the Supreme Court of India was a case of perjury. Perjury mane lies. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. So, Mahua Moitra, the Member of Parliament of Trinamool Congress, was talking to, giving an interview to a newspaper called Telegraph. And in this interview, she said that Sebi had informed her that it would be investigating issues related to Adani Group. And it is absolutely unbelievable that the India's premier market regulator is so complicit with the Adani Group that it lies to the parliamentarian in writing saying it is investigating, that is the Adani Group. Its bosses at Finmin, that is Finance Ministry, lies in Parliament saying that Sebi is investigating. She says, मेरे को तो Sebi ने बोला था investigate कर रहा है. And Sebi doesn't seem to be investigating. Okay, let's get into the story. Let's understand the story as it happened. Now, the Sebi went and told the Supreme Court on Monday that, listen, you know what? It is false information. In fact, they said the claim that Sebi has been investigating Adani Group since 2016 were factually baseless. Sebi made this statement to Supreme Court. They said, we have not been investigating and all that. Mahua Moitra said, अरे ये कैसे हो सकता है? How can this happen? She says, I had asked a series of questions in the parliament, and on the 19th of July 2021, the junior finance minister Pankaj Chaudhary said some Adani Group companies were being examined by Sebi for compliance with security rules, as well as by the department looking at imports and export taxes. The finance minister said, junior finance minister said, he says, ये कैसा होएगा? अरे, once you are going and telling, on Monday you are gone, you went and told the Supreme Court that we are doing no investigation. Your junior finance minister in 2021, July 19th, came and told the parliament that we are doing investigation. Boss, this is wrong. This is perjury. Perjury mane lies. This is lies. Now, referring to the mismatch between the minister's statement that he had said in the parliament in July 2021 and Sebi's affidavit on Monday, Moitra, who is now in Chicago, said that lying to Supreme Court is perjury and also lying to the parliament. This is utterly shameful. This Adani cover-up will be the end of Sebi and the end of government. Mark my words. She says you can't, which is a factual correct statement. She says you can't lie to the court. That is perjury, and you can't lie to the parliament. That too is perjury. You can't lie. So you've been lying. The minister has said something which is not correct by saying that there is investigation happening, or Sebi has said something which is not correct, where they said that investigation never happened. Who is correct? So who is lying? This is her question, and she goes on to say that this will be the end of the government and Sebi and all that, which I don't know how much of it will happen. Now, there are a few questions that one needs to answer. Okay, now the question is, on Monday, Sebi sought 6 more months to complete the court order probe passed in an order on 2nd of March 2023 in connection with the slew of allegations against business conglomerate leveled by Hindenburg in January this year. Okay? So, January mein Hindenburg leveled this whatever allegations against Adani. The Supreme Court asked Sebi to investigate. Now, Sebi comes and says, "Nahi bhaiya, I need 6 more months for it." Now, Sebi's request of an extension of the deadline for the investigation has surprised many, as it is not initially objected to the 2 months time frame set by the Supreme Court on March 2nd, 2023 to complete the inquiry. The fact that Sebi has sought 6 more months of extension for the deadline, citing the need to understand the complex web of transaction and to ensure carriage of justice, keeping in mind the interest of investors and security market. Abhi, let us understand. This issue happened on January. Like I told you, Hindenburg issue happened in January. March 2nd, Supreme Court said, Sebi, come here, 2 months take, investigate, get back to me. Tabhi Sebi said, okay, I will go and investigate and get back to you. Now, on Monday, Sebi says, nahi bhaiya, ye nahi ho sakta hai. I can't investigate and in 2 months. After 2 months, the Sebi is coming and saying, we can't investigate in 2 months because this is huge complex web and all that. So huge complexities. We have to keep the interest of the investor. We have to keep the interest of the security market and all in mind. So, baba nahi ho sakta. We want 6 more months. Supreme Court says, okay. What experts are asking is, baba, aisa kaisa hai yaar? The issue happened in January. If you take 1 year to start investigating, then by then everything will be over. A lot of things can be overturned. Lot of things people will forget. Lot of documents can be changed. So on and so forth. Lot of things can happen. So a lot of people ask, ye kaise hota hai? How fair is this? So two very major questions coming out of Adani issue. One, what Moitra asked, look, how can your Sebi go and say हमने investigation कभी किया ही नहीं है? ये factually incorrect है that 2016 से investigation हो रहा है. And the junior minister comes and says that भैया listen, you know what, we have been investigating Adani. He said that in 2021, July 19, the junior finance minister comes and says investigating happening. Sebi says investigation not happening. And here the Supreme Court gives 2 months on March 2nd to Sebi to investigate for a issue that has happened in January. Sebi says yes, and then Sebi says no, I want 6 more months. I wonder, and I ask you this as a layman, I wonder how did Supreme Court, after giving 2 months, again allow the Sebi another extension of 3 months to 14th August. They again gave an extension of 3 months with a rider that, okay, if you don't complete within 3 months, take 1 more month. How can Supreme Court be so lenient? Are these techniques to stretch the investigation? Are these techniques? I'm asking. I'm not alleging. I'm asking. Are these techniques used to see that matter can be resolved, sorted out, or brushed under the carpet? Is that what's happening here? The question that I want to ask tonight is, if this was not Adani, this was a regular company, this was Jay Krishan and company, and if they were in trouble like this, what would have happened to them? Would the system be as lenient as what it is to Adani? As would the CBI, the ED, the Sebi be as cordial as what they are to Adani? Would the government be as lenient as what they are currently with Adani? The question is, and I ask as a layman, the question is, would Supreme Court be so lenient by giving extensions after extensions? I ask all those people, all those businessmen, all those small and medium-sized businessmen, do we get this kind of privileges? Do we get this kind of leniency? Do we get this kind of cooperation from the system? If we were to default or we were to do some error in our business. Think, ask yourself. That's the point I wanted to come and share with you. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.